So the first thing I want to do today is take a political compass test from all the things that's going on. Political compass test is pretty much you're somewhere in this square. You are authoritarian, libertarian, left or right, and a dot is just placed somewhere where you are placed of based on what your beliefs are. I want to take the test, and I just need to find out where I take it real quick. Okay. As a transgender individual, I really wonder where I lean. I believe I am kind of center libertarian. Somewhere over there. Like center, slightly right. That's where I think I am. So like somewhere close to the middle, but bottom right. First question. Or let's read the entire thing. 6 pages. Just a few propositions to start with concerning no less how you see the country and the world. If I wouldn't know anything. I don't know anything about politics, or barely anything about politics. I'm not very political. As like a person, I'm just not into that. I just don't really care to learn about politics. I just watch it as a spectator, and I have my own beliefs and comments on some things. I don't like voicing them out in public unless the situation calls for it. If economic globalization is inevitable, it should primarily serve humanity rather than the interests of transnational corporations. What the frick does that mean? If economic globalism is inevitable, economic globalization, what's that? I'm assuming globalization of economics. We're going to be Googling a lot this time. It should primarily serve humanity rather than interests of transnational corporations. What's a transnational corporation? So it's pretty much companies make factories in different countries to like make their product cheaper or pay for their product cheaper, like reduce taxes. I would say slightly agree, because that's just smart. That's just smart. Let's just say that. It's just smart to do that. I'd always support my country, whether it's right or wrong. Strongly disagree. I hate America and what it's turned into in recent times. Economically, it is getting better, but also I think it's fine to hate the country that you were born in. You don't have to be patriotic towards the country that you're born in. If you hate your country, you hate your country. If you love your country, you love your country. I personally I don't like my country, and I won't support it if it's doing wrong, but I will support it if it's doing right. And right now, it's not doing very good things to the people of my community, so I don't like it. But that's not the only reason. That's not the only reason. A lot of other reasons, like political power. I hate the boomers that are in charge, that's been in charge for however many years. I don't like the big heads of the United States, so I don't like the country as a whole, because they run it and they represent the country, and I don't like them. No one chooses their country of birth, so it's foolish to be proud of it. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's like what I kind of just said. Our race has many superior qualities compared with other races. I'm white. I was born as a white male. So if I go by that, it is an easier life, like surface level easier life. I would say yes, but I want to strongly agree, because some white people are just raised in the hood and they are lumped up with all the other races that are in the hood, or in the ghetto, or in poverty, or homeless, or whatever. Every single race experiences that. Just because you're a white, I would say more likely than not, you are treated in a more fair way. So that's why at least in America, do I agree with it? No, I'm just stating facts and experience. You are treated differently, in a more superior way, as this question says. You are treated in a more superior way than if I was Indian or black or Hispanic, right? I would be treated differently just because of my skin color or my nationality and like heritage. Is that what it is? But like what it says by our race, I don't know if it says the human race or the skin color race, or I'm assuming it's called, it's talking about skin color. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. I don't know what that means. I never understood these. Two parties who share a common adversity may find themselves cooperating, even when they're not natural allies. Yeah, I agree. But some people just can't work together. It's like, if your disinterests clash too hard, they're like, oh, I simply can't work with you because you are this, but we both want this thing gone. Or we are both working towards this thing, but our beliefs or whatever just can't collide. Some people take it to the extreme level, some people don't. I personally don't care, but in reality, I think people can set aside their differences, to put aside their differences and work towards that goal. That's what I believe. AKA grow up. Military action that defies international law is sometimes justified. So like chemical warfare. I think, personally, in war, I think there should be no rules. Personally, if the leader wants to go all ham, just fucking delete the entire country, be completely xenophobic and be like, I do not like this country, so I'ma destroy it. They can do it if the people around them agrees, but they would have to suffer the consequences of their actions if they do that, right? So I agree with that, I guess. I agree, but not strongly agree, because do I strongly agree with that? It's like military action that defines international law is sometimes justified. I think it's case by case, but if you are going to break a law within war, it should be reasonable. Like, it should be understandable that you broke this law to do what you had to do. So if, like, Hitler too, like, rises from the ashes, right? I want to kill every single Jew on this planet. And they are actively doing that. I also believe in life for a life. If they want to kill, they should be killed for it, right? And whatever way that means, they should do it, even if it breaks a law. That's like an extreme example that I don't think it'll happen within my lifetime, so I'm not 100% like set on that goal, because that's like an extreme belief, an extreme like example. But I genuinely agree that it is okay to break laws if need be. There is now a worrying fusion of information and entertainment. I think to give information, you do need to have entertainment to make people listen to that information. But a worrying fusion? I guess, yeah, because like if you're boring as heck, you're not gonna be listened to if like people find you boring and not interesting, and people just like won't listen to what you're saying unless they grew up listening to everything that what they're like told. So like the younger generation, I feel like it is going to be worse, because how we are raised is with entertainment, and putting boring information in an entertaining way will make us listen to that information. It's going down that path. I'm just gonna say agree, but not strongly agree, even though I see it going down it. Now, the economy. We're talking about attitudes here, not the FTSE index. What's the FTSE index? For our Financial Times Stock Exchange, so stocks. Okay, so we're not talking about stocks. We're just talking about the economy as a whole. People are ultimately divided more by class than nationality. I would strongly agree with that. The difference between middle class and poor is huge, and the difference between rich and middle class is huge. So I 100% like people are very much divided by simply how much money they make. It's now 100% about nationality and race, because like racism is not really super prominent anymore. Even though I have experienced racism, but not to the degree that people of color have experienced racism. So in today's age, ultimately, people don't care about your like skin color or nationality. People don't care where you came from. People care about how much money you make and if they can constantly keep you around. Controlling inflation is more important than controlling unemployment. I agree. I think inflation has gone way out of hand, but also employment has gone way out of hand because of inflation, in my opinion. From what I've seen, like I can't name sources because I don't know like the names of sources, but from YouTube videos that I see from other YouTubers that cover everything, not just one side or the other, that cover everything, that cover the truth, it is come to my attention that because of inflation, it has caused more employment than what is expected. Sorry, my voice is not there. My voice hurts today. Because corporations cannot be trusted to voluntarily protect the environment, they require regulation. 100%. I do think corporations need to be regulated, just like how every single product in America needs to be regulated to a degree. If it's sold as either a service or a product, it should be safe to use by the consumer and regulated on how they use it, not how the consumer uses it. Once the consumer buys it, they can do whatever they want with it. But if the product is designed to cause harm or to purposely be used not how it's promoted, but not regulated how it's promoted. I don't know where I'm going with that like completely, but yes, products should be regulated, services should be regulated, companies, corporations should be regulated, and if they are not regulated, they are not trustworthy. And I think bigger the corporation or company is, more regulations needs to be put in place to make sure that company does not fuck up. like the Roblox situation, like the Roblox company right now. What they're getting in hot water is what I've experienced. So like I'm very, what's it called? I'm very passionate towards that side, and I think mega corporations should be highly regulated. I'm saying this for corporations and companies. As an individual, I do not care what you do. But if you are a part of a team, you represent the team. From each according to its ability, to each according to its need, is a fundamentally good idea. I don't know how to read. What the fuck does this mean? Contribution based on ability. People are expected to contribute the collective good in whatever way they are able. It's like if you want to contribute, you can contribute. If you don't want to, you don't want to. I don't care. I can understand it, but I don't agree with it. So I guess disagree, but I don't. If you have something that someone needs, and if you want to help, you are not required to help. But I think the right thing to do in most cases is to give out. But also, you don't need to. It doesn't matter if you do or not. I don't think everyone should have everything, because I don't think everyone deserves everything. So I don't really have like a communist mindset. The freer market, the freer the people. I don't even know what I remember like hearing all this, but I never understood it. As people gain more control of their own choices and property, this concept is rooted in libertarianism and argues that economic freedom is essential for personal freedom. Yeah, I agree with that. But also, I do think that regulations for the giga rich, if they're exploiting workers or the company itself or how they make their money, I think that should be regulated and be patched out, pretty much, by the government. It's like, I don't strongly agree with like a complete free market, because it's like if you can just completely find a glitch in the system and just reuse that belief saying, oh, you can't patch it out, and it breaks the system and it breaks the economy, and that, from what my understanding, that like skyrockets inflation. I'm dumb, so I don't know. Again, sorry for my voice. It's a sad reflection in our society that something as basic as drinking water is now bottled, branded consumer product. I agree. I think water should be free. As a basic human resource, I think water should be free. I understand paying for food. I can understand paying for food because most products is a service required. Like fast food, you pay someone to make your food. I think that's what you're really paying for. You're not really paying for the food, you're paying someone to make that food. The price is dependent on how to make that food, but also, in reality, the price is determined on the ingredients that make the food. In my opinion, I think people should be paying for service, not for product when it comes to basic human resources like food and water. But like paying for food is fine because you're paying for the service of food. Same thing for like grocery stores. This food is paid for. You still have to pay for food, but also it shouldn't be this expensive. But you pay for food. How I see it as you're paying someone to crop the food, grow the food, blah, 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 the food. A farmer grew this corn and put it in the store. That's like the short explanation. I think you pay for the service, not the food itself, most of the time. That's what I believe that should be happening. So yes, like I strongly agree, like bottled and sold. Being bottled, I guess it's fine, I don't care. But I guess that is a service. But like I think water should be free. I think it should be almost illegal to sell water. You should sell the service of getting the water, which I guess that we do. But also it's like, I don't know. It's weird. I'm like contradicting myself over and over again. So maybe not strongly agree, I'm just gonna agree. Because in some situations, I can understand that bottled water should be sold. Like Fiji water, for example, because you're not gonna go to Fiji. You're not gonna go to Mount Fiji or Fuji, whatever the fuck, get the water there. You paid someone to do that, and you're buying service of someone doing that for however much the water is, like $5 a water bottle, which is insane. I think the prices should go down, but I'm broke. Land shouldn't be a commodity to be bought and sold. I think it's fine to buy and sell land. It's just a trade. I think it's a trade. It's like, you can buy my land for this much, and I think that's fine. I think that's fine in general. It is regrettable that many personal fortunes are made by people who simply manipulate money and contribute nothing to their society. I don't think if you want to make money, you don't have to contribute to society. If you want money, you go get that money. Just do it in the right way. Protectionism is sometimes necessary in trade. What is protectionism? Did I even say that right? Country's domestic industry, but I guess so. It's like, if you don't want someone to have your stuff for free, you should be able to charge them for it if you're in another country. It's your decision. Go ahead, go do it. And if you want to give stuff out for free, go ahead. The only social responsibility of the company should be to deliver a profit to its shareholders. No. Your company can do whatever it wants. Just, I think that the company should thrive as a company. And if the company is thriving, the shareholders will automatically be like, cool, we're making money, you're making money, we're all making money, pog, pog, pog. But I don't think that, like, they should only care about shareholders. They should care about the people who made the company. Like, the consumers and the product that they make should represent the company instead of the shareholders being like, yo, company, you're good? Yeah. And then they're like, okay. I disagree with that, I guess. Shareholders are not the only important people. Their consumers are much more important. The rich is too highly taxed. No, I think they should be taxed more. But they are already taxed like 60%, so. I just don't want, like, inflation to go crazy, you know? Because the rich people will indeed overpay for things, and that'll make their prices go up and up and up, so that company makes more money. This is how luxury brands, like, thrive. It's like, I don't think that the rich is too highly taxed. I think, like, it should be capped out at 70%. Maybe, like, 68%, I don't know. But I'm just throwing out numbers with no evidence. Those with the ability to pay should have access to higher standards of medical care? Yeah, I guess. But also, no, it's like, I think medical care and healthcare, you shouldn't have to pay an insane price for. Like, medical care, I think, is a basic human resource. So I think it should be at a very low price and or free. I guess disagree, but like, if you're giga rich, there should be an option to pay for, like, the beta version of this new vaccine, if you want it. Or this new drug, if you want it. If you're rich, you most likely have the connections to get that product in the first place. And if you pay top dollar for it, you should be able to get it. I think everything has a price point, at a degree. Government should penalize businesses that mislead the public, yes. 100%. If your company says it's doing something and it's doing different, they should be punished for it. That is just lying. That is lying and manipulation of numbers or their sales or whatever. It's like, I 100% believe that if you lie as a business, you should be penalized for it. Because you are a public figure that has a lot of trust and power over as consumers. A genuine free market requires restrictions on the ability of predator multinations to create monopolies. Isn't free market and monopolies like the opposite? What does this mean? Predator multinationals. Large multinational corporations that use their dominant market position to eliminate competition and exploit customers, yeah. It's like, if you try to make a monopoly, good on you, you're trying to. But if you get caught, you should be punished for it, and that's not a free market. Now look at some of your personal social values. Abortion. When a woman's life is not threatened, should always be illegal. No? If you want to get an abortion, get an abortion. If you want an abortion at 8 months, go ahead. You're gonna die with the baby, most likely. But if you want an abortion at 8 months, go ahead. It's like, it's your choice. I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care. All authority should be questioned. Yes, I would like to know the beliefs of the authority to see if I want to actually follow who is authoritizing everything. I think they should be questioned in what they believe in, and if you agree with those beliefs, it's fine for them to have authority over you if you believe in their stuff. But if the authority above you had bad intentions, it is your right to be like, I don't like that, you know? So, and just not pay attention to it. But obviously, if it's like, oh, I don't like what the police is doing, so I'm gonna break laws anyways, you're still breaking laws and you're gonna have to pay the consequences for it anyways. I believe in that. An eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, I agree. If you hurt someone, you deserve to be hurt back. Just simple as that. I 100% believe that. If you kill someone, you deserve to be killed. I 100% believe that. If you take something for someone, don't be surprised if someone steals from you. I am the type of person of treat people how you want to be treated. Taxpayers should not be expected to prop up any theaters or museums that cannot survive on a commercial basis. I don't know what this means. What does this mean? Brainly to have accessibility to cultural institutions. But taxpayers like me, it is not my fault that the theater died. It is not my fault that the museum got exploded, you know? It's your dumbass ass who didn't build it correctly. Or expect that people are not gonna like the things that you put up. And I don't think that I should be taxed for their frick-ups. So, I don't know. Taxpayers should not be expected to prop up any theaters. I don't know what prop up, like, implies. Prop up meaning. I guess, yeah. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. I guess. I don't know if I read that correctly. I'm just gonna say agree, because I don't 100% understand the question. Schools should not make classroom attendance compulsory. I don't even know what that means. Does that mean required? I agree. If you don't want to go to school, you don't have to go to school. If your parents don't want you to go to school, your parents should not be locked up for not letting their kid to go to school. But if your kid wants to go to school, let them go to school, you know? All people have their rights, but it's better for all of us that different... Well, all people have their rights, but it's better for all of us that different sorts of people should keep to their own kind. Yeah? I guess. But it's better for all of us that different sorts of people should keep to their own kind. Oh no. It's like, people have their rights, but it's better that people just keep to themselves. Did I read that correctly? Do I understand that correctly? To their own kind. So racism. You have rights, but you're not allowed to be near people that you don't belong with. It's like, it could be with anyone that you want. Good parents sometimes have to spank their children. It's like, yes and no. I do think that, like, hitting your child in an abusive way, maybe not spank your children, but punish them. Because, like, I wasn't hit as a kid. I was threatened to be hit as a kid, but I never really got hit. I don't know. It's like, I remember trying to download Minecraft for free on a computer at home, and it downloaded a virus, and I got, like, super in trouble for it because I freaked it up. Like, I still am conscious about, like, oh, what if I mess up? What if I mess up? What if I have, like, it's not PTSD, but anxiety of doing something wrong. And it's because of my parents, like, making it such a big deal and being like, why did you do something wrong? Blah, 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 with no XDs. It's not required for you to spank your children, but, like, if mental harassment is not enough for your child to learn, then I think, like, hitting your child, spanking your child, I guess, like, not in a malicious way or in an abusive way, is okay. I guess sometimes is the really weird word here. It's like, good parents have to spank their children. No, but sometimes I can understand that. It's natural for children to keep some secrets from their parents. Yes. Possessing marijuana for personal use should not be a criminal offense. Yes. If you want to smoke marijuana for personal use, go ahead. If you want to smoke crack for personal use, go ahead. Don't try to kill other people with it. Or don't enable someone to do crack to the point of death. The prime function of schooling should be to equip future generation to find jobs. Yes. It should prepare you for the workforce, but also you should learn more than just how to work. I'm just gonna strongly agree. I think that the schooling needs a rework. I think Blizzard needs to go into the schooling system and rework some stuff. Maybe not Blizzard. People with serious and inheritable disabilities should not be allowed to reproduce. No. It's like, if you want to reproduce, go ahead. The most important thing for children to learn is to accept discipline. Yes, I guess. I think children should experience discipline at a higher degree, actually. I think in the more recent generations, it's been super lax within how we discipline our children compared to millennials and Gen X. I think we should discipline our children a little bit more, but also not to the maximum degree that, like, oh, if you mess up, you deserve the death penalty. Like, no, I don't know. Your children online is being a predator. For example, even if you are 16, 17, 18, whatever, like you're in the early teens and you are exploiting other minors, you should be charged or disciplined to the appropriate, like, response. Like, just because you're a minor, I feel like criminal records of minors should be public. That's my belief. It's like, protect minors, but also within criminal history, I think those should be public. The criminals, they should be out for display. But I do think it is very important for children to learn what discipline is. I probably said what I, like, meant wrong. I probably used different words than what I meant, but I don't know how else to explain it in a more accurate way. Not at the moment. There are no savage and civilized peoples. There are only different cultures. Disagree. There are people who are just naturally angry, very savage, very unpredictable, and there are people who are more civilized and more proper. That's just how they are. Instead of, because so many different people are in like the same culture, you know? There are cultures that have murderers, and there's the same culture can also have people who are very against the murder. That can be in the same culture, but there's subcultures that divide those people apart. But culture as a whole, they are savage and civilized people, not just different cultures. Those who are able to work and refuse the opportunity should not expect society's support. Yes, if you don't want to take the first steps, don't expect people to give you those steps if you are not willing to work for it. You want those steps? Go get those steps. Don't expect the steps to be handed to you. When you are troubled, it's better not to think about it, but to keep busy with more cheerful things. It depends on the severity. If it's like in my life, okay, if I am troubled, I'm misgendered, I am dead named, whatever, that's a nothing burger. But it is a trouble. I can just choose to not think about it. Think about the positive thing. That'd be like, I don't care, it's understandable. I don't care if you dead name me or like misgender me, like on accident. But if it's like malicious, then obviously it's like, I don't like you for it. Is it a real trouble? No. I could just get over it and go for more cheerful things. But like if you're in trouble like war, if you're kind of in war, you should be always thinking about it. Instead of, oh, when's the next Call of Duty coming out? It is such a different degree of what's happening. So I guess disagree. I'm just gonna say disagree, but I don't strongly disagree because it's so case dependent, so situational. First generation immigrants can never fully integrate within their new country. Disagree. Because like eventually you will understand the culture of that country. You will eventually respect it. If you're not willing to respect the culture of that country, then those are not the people that you should be around. Those are not the right people to be around, and you should go somewhere else so you can live a better life. Just saying, that's my opinion. I want the best for people, and if you are not fit for this country, then I would advise you to leave, but it's your choice to leave or not. But if you're obviously illegal, get the frick out of the country. There's a legal system, you should go through it just like everyone else. What's good for the most successful corporations is always, ultimately, good for us. No. Strongly disagree. Because some corporations can go zoom up into the $1 trillion, but they would want to discriminate against these certain people. A single company goes zoom all the way up to the top and cause a monopoly that destroys hundreds upon thousands of other corporations. It's not good for all of us. It might be good for some people, but all of us, no. No broadcasting institution, however dependent its content, should receive public funding. What's a broadcasting institution? Such as television, radio stations to a wide audience, like TV, internet stuff. So no TV, however independent its content, should receive public funding. No. They can get tips and donations from whatever investors want to invest into it, but you shouldn't completely cut off just because they're independent or whatever content's on it does not mean that they should be completely cut off, if I'm understanding that correctly. Next page. And how you see the wider society. Our civil liberties are being excessively curbed by the name of counterterrorism. What is civil liberties? The freedom of doing whatever the frick you want is getting curbed in the name of counterterrorism? I would agree that's happening. That like there is being more rules placed and we are trading freedom for safety. We are slowly going towards that, but it has definitely ramped up in like the past like 20 years. So pretty much ever since 9/11. Yeah, so like the past like 25 years, it's been like ramping up at a increasing speed of no freedom, more restriction. I agree that's what's happening, but do I agree with it? No. I think they're just asking if I'm aware. A significant advantage of one-party state is that it avoids all of the arguments that delay progress in a democratic political system. No? I guess, like, one party, like an independent one party. What's a one-party state? I think I'm misunderstanding this. Or have limited and controlled the participation in elections. So it is what I'm thinking. Okay. Avoids all the arguments that delay progress in democratic political systems. I'm just gonna say disagree because I haven't seen or experienced a single independent party that's avoiding everything of the democratic system. But also, I don't even know what that means. I'm dumb. So I'm just gonna say I disagree. Although electronic age makes official surveillance easier, only wrongdoers need to be worried. Yes, I agree. If you're doing nothing wrong, the surveillance shouldn't do anything. But also, it can be over surveillance because it's like, as someone who just doesn't do anything wrong, I don't think I do anything wrong in public. I am super paranoid because there's so many cameras out. I just don't like being constantly recorded everything that I do. It makes me very, very paranoid. So like, if you're doing nothing wrong, you shouldn't be worried about it. But also the everlasting effects of you're always being watched and being paranoid can have a cultural impact on each generation. The death penalty should be an option for the most serious crimes. Yes. If you kill someone, you deserve to die. And if you want to kill someone, kill yourself. Because the person that you want to kill is going to die anyways. Kill yourself before someone kills you. It's a harsh thing to say and believe, but I truly believe it. In a civilized society, one must always have people above to be obeyed and people below to be commanded. I guess, yeah, like there's always going to be people above you and people below you. In classes, in society, in like each society level, in companies, etc. There is going to always be someone above and below you. I guess I believe this. I agree with this. I think being a boss is okay. It's just how you use your employees or how you treat the people below you. No matter what, there's always going to be levels to society. Abstract art that doesn't represent anything shouldn't be considered art at all. Disagree. Because art is, as an artist, I believe art is in the eyes of the beholder. Not everyone can see the drawings that I have behind me, right here, and say, oh, these are really, really cool. Some people might say, oh, that shit, that's not art. I don't like it. You have a trans person behind you. I don't like it. That's not art. That's just like an extreme, stupid example. I believe that like, it's like everyone sees art differently and everyone appreciates art at different levels. So I strongly disagree. In criminal justice, punishment should be more important than rehabilitation. Yes, but not strongly agree. I feel like you should be punished instead of being let go and trust that you're going to go to rehab. Because you can just not go to rehab or whatever, right? You could just simply go to rehab and not change at all. If you don't want to change, you're not going to change. So I feel like punishment is needed for the people who are criminals, you know? It is a waste of time to try to rehabilitate some criminals. Sometimes, yes. The business person and the manufacturer are more important than the writer and the artist. No, because like you can supply anything to this person and then you can supply the exact same thing to another person and one product is going to be better than the other. That's just how it's going to be. It's how you use the product, and that is the important person, in my opinion, is how you use the things that are given to you instead of the people who made the things in the first place. Mothers may have careers, but their first duty is to be homemakers? No. You don't have to be a homemaker to have a career, or you don't have to be a homemaker to be respected, I guess. Women's like sole purpose isn't just to reproduce, isn't just to make babies. That's just not their only purpose on earth. That is a thing that they have the option to do, and it's their choice to follow through with that option, but it's an option for a reason, because you don't have to do that option. There's other options that you can do. You can not become a mother and be independent, or you could be with someone, be codependent, but not be a mother. So many varieties or variables that womanhood and manhood contribute. A mother's first duty isn't to be a homemaker, but like this is like implying that you have a kid, your first duty is to be a homemaker. I think it's dependent on situation. I've had friends that are teen moms, right? Or more like coworkers that are teen moms, and they can't just be a homemaker. They can't just make a home. They just can't do that. They have to advance into their career so they can take care of their family. So, I disagree. Their first duty isn't just to be a homemaker. You can do whatever you want if you're a mom. Almost all politicians promise economic growth, but we should heed the warnings of climate science that growth is detrimental to our efforts to curb global warming. How does global warming and economic growth, like, what? I guess, yeah. I guess, yeah, it's like more that like I read it and like think about it. I do think the health of the earth is more important than money that we make. 100%. I think our earth, the thing that we live on, is more important than the things that we make. We're only destroying the earth, we're not really making it better. Making peace with establishment is an important aspect of maturity. I would say yeah. I think making peace with anything is an important aspect of maturity. If you got through that okay, you'll find these propositions on religion a breeze. I'm not super religious, you know? I can understand religion. Personally, I'm more of an atheist than anything else. I just don't believe in God. I believe in Satan. I don't believe in God though. And like Buddha and all that. I haven't looked too much into religion outside of personal experiences. I've never read a Bible. I never read any Hindi texts. I don't know any like other like I never went too far into like Satanism. Like I've only know like surface level, not even surface level things. It's mainly like kind of like names of things. So let's see, I'm not very much a religious person in general. Astrology accurately explains many things. No? What definition of astrology is it using? A study of movements of relative positions of celestial bodies interpreted as having an influence on human affairs in the natural world. I guess no, but if you believe in those things, that can build your character. You as an individual can be built on your beliefs, and if you do believe on it, if you do believe in astrology, astrology will be important to you and it will be accurate. Maybe. I think as a whole, it doesn't. It's only if you believe in it. If you believe in astrology, it's going to affect you. If you don't believe in astrology, it does nothing. You cannot be moral without being religious. Disagree. You don't have to be religious to be moral. You could just be like, oh, I just don't like this thing. It's not against my beliefs, but you don't have to be religious to have a belief. Charity is better than Social Security as a means of helping the general disadvantaged. Not at all. Because, like, charity can be easily manipulated and used for the worse. A lot of the time, it is. It's very much like the wealth of charity is used mainly, like, trying to spread it out, but its primary use is for the people who made the charity in the first place. For their personal stuff. Does not believe I don't believe in charity. I think the majority of charity owners use it for personal use. We should have seen a $2 million school by Kaisana by now. Some people are naturally unlucky. Agree. I don't strongly disagree because you can navigate luck. If something unlucky happens to you, it is your decision of how you want to navigate it. Do you want to go down on yourself and put yourself down because you're unlucky and then you're going to continuously go down this unlucky path of unfortunate? Or you could be like, okay, this is an unlucky thing that happened. Oh well, move on to something else and try to navigate around it and trying to use that result and try to push it past the luck. It is your decision to do whatever you want to do with your own individual luck. I hope I said that correctly. It is important that my child's school instills religious values. No, it's not important at all. What does instill mean? In a person's mind, yeah. I don't think school should be religious at all. Finally, a look at sex. Sex outside of marriage is usually immoral. Nope. You can have sex with whoever you want, but if you cheat on someone, that is your fault. You should be punished for it. A same-sex couple in a stable, living relationship should not be excluded for the possibility of child adoption. I guess, yeah. I agree. It's like if you want to marry the same sex as you and you want to adopt someone, you should be allowed to adopt. If I read that correctly. Pornography depicting consenting adults should be illegal for the adult population. Yes. If you want to look at people having sex, you should. What goes on in a private bedroom between consenting adults is no business of the state. I agree. But if it's straight up something illegal going on in that room, then it's the business of the state. No one can feel naturally homosexual. Strongly disagree. You cannot be brainwashed to like guys if you are a guy. You just can't. You can try your hardest to like the same sex, but if you do not like the same sex, then you just don't. But some people are just born that way, you know? These days, openness about sex has gone too far. No. I don't think it's gone too far. I think it's being normalized and I think that's good. I think sex should be talked about and should be, like, not a taboo thing to talk about. Let's see where I stand, though. Where am I? Where I am, where I kind of thought I was, but in the opposite side. So I'm here. In this dot, is that where I am? You're a political compass. I am right there. So, like, kind of in the center, but not really. So I'm just on the other side of where I thought I was. I thought I was more right-leaning, because right is more like conservative, right? So I'm here. Interesting. I thought I was gonna be a little bit more right, just because the people who I watch are more right-leaning, but also they say they're left. Like I said, I don't know anything here. I don't know like the meanings of a lot of this stuff, but from the quick Google searches for the words that I didn't know and the phrases that I didn't know, I think this is correct. I think I believe in this.